Welcome. If you can't notice from the video, this is a makeup shot. That's where I take another shot and I add into the video without you noticing. But you'll notice that I've cut my nose and I haven't got a t-shirt on in this shot, and I'm clean shaven anyway. This is a video about a UPS, uninterruptible power supply. There's my uninterruptible power supply chugging away. Now I've recorded this bit just to add something in. The video is all about me fitting this, how they work and what they do. This one in particular is fitted, one, to maintain the equipment in this cabinet should there be a power cut, and two, because it has a conditioning feature in where it takes electricity in, recreates it and sends it back out, it stops like diverting neutral currents, power surge and that, getting to my expensive IT equipment is great. One thing I was going to say about this is, the other week I was here, and, sorry, my missus was here, and she randomly said, there's something a bit weird going off, some of the lights won't work. I'm like, oh, right, okay. I'll have a look at that when I get home. Like, bit worried, some spark in my ass, as the fucking as you can see, a fucking bodge job of cables. Turns out the power got off, but because she was sat on a laptop in the kitchen and the Wi-Fi and the internet stopped on with this, she never noticed and just carried on working. But then when she put some lights on, the lights weren't working. However, the IKEA controller was still working, that controls the lights. So when the power came back on, this didn't have to restart, my internet didn't have to restart, the IKEA lights didn't have to restart, and it really did save a load of hassle that I might have had to tinker around with when I got home. So yeah, at the minute, this is sat on my IT. I'm going to fit another one in the loft, but I won't show you because I cover everything in this video. So if you are in the countryside, you get problems with power surges, little power cuts, big power cuts, or you just don't want to be like not working continuously when your power goes off for a few seconds somewhere, a little UPS will do you, and it's all should be covered in this video. Because I just watched this video and thought, oh, I actually made quite a good job of that, although it's a bit bitty. So yeah, enjoy. And yeah, if you've got any expensive equipment, these aren't expensive, and they could save all of this, which is why I've got one, because I live in the countryside. It's fucking a bit wank, because cars jump on power lines. See you in a bit, enjoy the video. Also, obviously, I'm a bit short, which is why I put this out. Never mind. You know what I'm going to do right now, don't you? That's right, I'm going to do some actual electrical content. Oh, look, is that here? Oh, it's just cocaine. I was meant to be doing some work on the office right now, but I had a road rage incident with some fucking fellow occupant, so I've come to my house to get this sorted out. Let me show you what this is. I've alluded to some bit of stuff. This is a UPS. UPS is an uninterruptible power supply. So, uninterruptible, it's not an RPS, a reserve power supply, anything like that. It's uninterruptible, which means whatever's plugged into it, which at the moment is this TV, just a TV, which is giving me about 114 watt load. In fact, wait there, let's sort this out a bit better, because this isn't very scientific. Let's put something that's utterly wank on the telly, and let's put a meter on that so we can see what's going off, because otherwise it's just fucking me talking it. We're talking actual electrical engineering content. Let me take you over the setup, but first of all, let me take you the correct way round, because I can't show you a plug here because I didn't plug on my head. So I'll show you what's going off here. So that socket there on the left is connected directly to the UPS round the back where the kettle leads. So on the back of the UPS, you'll see there is the mains input. There's then 3 UPS outputs, which will provide an uninterrupted power supply. The bottom one is for surge only. That's for filtering your phone line if you want to, which you never do. And that is a data connection via serial, which is going to my computer where I'm running the software, so I can show you some bits and bobs what it's going to do in a minute. And down here, I've got an output lead, which is making these 3 sockets uninterruptible, and you'll see my telly is pulling a lovely 132 watts at the minute. The concept being that this is going to go in here. This is where all my data in my house lives. I measured all this shit, the switch, the other switch, the router, the controller, and some other bits. Basically, it's 45.8 watts, but let me show you what that is. This might change in future, but see the sockets, these two? That's the Ring doorbell, and that's the TV tuner, TV box. They're not essential. They're not required. They're not including that 45 watts. At the minute, at the 45 watts does this plug, which does this power block, and that does the router, and the controller, and the UPS, this switch, and this switch. This switch is there for a reason, but don't go to that. And then, going off on this plug is the BT Home Hub. So, if I plug this and this into the UPS, when the power goes off, everything in here that keeps the Wi-Fi and the internet running will stay on. And I'll show you why I want to do that. The plan for the future is to make my battery power, my home battery power, some things that are essential, which will consist of Not everything in that box, but this is just an early experiment. I'm just going to power this a minute. I'll tell you why in a minute. My heating and a few bits and bobs. The problem with this is, because it's an intelligent system, it runs on a controller and that. If you power it off, if I accidentally trip it, or accidentally turn the run breaker off, this takes about 15 minutes to get itself going again, which is a pain in the... So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a UPS in there, so if I turn the power for a little bit, or if the power goes off, or if the power surge, one, the UPS will condition the electricity and protect all my expensive IT equipment, and two, if I accidentally knock it off, rather than being knocked off, powered up, powered on, fucked up, it'll keep it on. So I've got 45 watts plus the home hub, I reckon that'll be another 10, and that's what I want to run, and I want to run it for 10 minutes, just whilst things get switched off. UPS aren't magic, yeah, you can't make this little box run it for hours. Let me show you. So in the UPS, which yes, is from the Skip, there's one of these batteries. There's a 12 volt, 7 ampere battery, a brand spanking new Youth one I bought, which I just fitted. That then is powering this socket at the minute, just powering the telly. And you'll see it's taking 130 watts, so it's taking double, almost double the load I expect to be running, but it's just this power up now. So if I get the TV and look at the plug-in, if you watch this, look, if I pull, no, don't, what am I on about? Leave that there, look. That's a stupid thing to do. What am I on about? Am I sparky or what? If I go to this plug and put my finger on the button, look, and I'll turn it off, and we can see everything. So watch the telly, 3, 2, 1. Power's off. Still supplying. It's telling us it's gone into battery, and it's still supplying the 125 watts that the TV needs. If we go over and turn the power back on, 3, 2, 1. Power back on. Changes over seamlessly back onto thingy. The telly's never gone off. So that's what it does. The power that comes out the output doesn't go in the input. The input feeds the battery, and the power coming out is then used. So it doesn't even give a millisecond, a nanosecond. It's uninterrupted, truly uninterrupted, whereas a home battery is not. So if I'm going to use the UPS on my home battery, this will give me the 10 minutes I need to come out of here and flick a changeover switch that will put my essential supplies in my house onto the battery. It'll also protect my IT equipment from surges and nasty and stuff like that. It came out the Skip, so why the hell not? It's just a little bit of a play around thing and stuff like that. So I've got 130 watts going, but over here on the software, I've got some other stuff. Let me start again now, show you some bits on the software. This software just plugs in my USB to serial lead that cost me a tenner off eBay. If you want one of them, they're about, this is the lowest one they do, I think. It's going to power myself for 20 minutes. They're about 150 quid off Amazon. You can get them other places as well, but they do go second hand on eBay and stuff, so keep your eyes out. If it's useful to you, it's not going to run your entire house for hours, lads and ladies. It's just to fill the gap. I reckon I'll get about 20 minutes out of this, but we'll look at that now in the software. So if we come into the software now, look, you'll see I've got the UPS. It's got the UPS status, battery management, diagnostic, UPS settings. I've looked at diagnostics. It's telling me stuff about it, yeah, whatever. It's not the most good bit of software, but UPS status. Let's try that. No, let's try diagnostics. 2 weeks later. Oh, there you go. No, that's not what I want. Well, I'll have energy reporting. 2 weeks later. As you can see, it's got stuff. It's got login. It tells me when it's shut down. It's got a shutdown because you can make it, if you use it on a single computer, which is what it's really designed for, when this goes to power failure, it can wait 10 minutes, then shut this computer down safely, which is useful things on the thing. Why is it not coming up with the UPS status? Oh, here you go. Power status. So there, look, it tells you I've got 244 volts coming in. And my battery status is 55% charged at 13.2 volts. So it's got 45% charge. And then you can get stuff like, there are bits, like, I'm sure on one of them, it will tell you. 2 weeks later. Battery management, is it? Here you go. So at the minute, the battery's charged to 55%. And it will run for 8 minutes. If I turn it off now, it will run for 8 minutes before it fails. But I suspect when it's charged up, it'll run for about 10, maybe 12. And then when I put it on that load, which is half it, I'll get about 20 minutes out of it. We're going to test that. But yeah, and it gives you like the replacement date. You can tell it when you replaced it. It's not a great bit of software, but it does help a little bit. It gives you a little bit of diagnostics. It gives us some numbers to play, but now it's quite happily pumping on that 120 hours. So let's watch that. Let's do that 8 minutes. So let's do a little failure test. Let's do a failure test. It's going to last for 8 minutes. I'm not going to keep you here for 8 minutes. Turn it off. It's recognised it. I don't know how much this gets updated, but obviously it's going to run for 8 minutes now. And I'm guessing if I go to the UPS status, you can see there we're on battery At 61%, we've got 8 minutes to go. The power status obviously is 0, and the battery status is 59 now. It's dropped to 11.7 volts, so it does need charging. It can't hold its good state. But I'm going to put it back on now so I don't knacker the battery because it's quite low. I need to charge before I can fuck around with it a bit. Back on, which it's recognised, and the power status is now... Oh, it's not quite sent this to the software yet. It's just gone back online. I'm sure I'll sort itself out in a minute. But yeah, that's how it works. It's not super complicated. It just does its thing. So that is a UPS, uninterruptible power supply. And what I'll do now is when I fit it in there, when I've got them fitted my router a bit in that, like I said, when it's powered from my home battery backup system, as the power goes off, my battery won't kick in straight away. It'll take a few seconds, and this will cover it in a few seconds, so I can attach anything up to about 650 watts that I don't want to dip offline onto this. You can have big central ones. I've worked in UPSs that are as big as a house. Loads and loads of batteries, like rooms of batteries as big as a house with a big inverter upstairs. But obviously, if you've got a few bits and bobs dotted around that you want to protect, like your CCTV, alarms like that, you can use little ones like these, which are much more maintainable at a low level of the house. So yeah, that's a UPS. If you need to use one, the APC ones are now owned by Schneider, like everything else, and they're pretty good. I've used them for a number of years, but I was going to stick one in my house, and I found that one to skip, and I've got an even bigger one to put in. So I'm going to bang that in now, like a banging your mum. I've done it. My missus stopped working, so I've got rid of it. So there's the UPS. There's the UPS output. It's on now. That feeds this essential stuff here, which is the 2 switches and the... Switch. A switch. Oh, and the router. That's off. That's on battery at the minute. See, it's turned off there. And it's going to last 25 minutes because the UPS load is 16%. So it's actually loads less than I thought, I think, while it's idle. I have still, however, got to put a plug on the other end of this and plug my router in, my BT Home Hub. My BT Home Hub also has a standby Wi-Fi on it. So basically, all of this shit in here can go off. And I can just plug the Wi-Fi in if I need to, because that has its own little shitty Wi-Fi, but this runs most of the house. So yeah, I now have an uninterruptible power supply in my house. So come the nuclear apocalypse, I'll still be able to go on here and say things about your mum's dildo. So that's that. That'll also protect what's connected here. It should also protect all my data equipment, my telephone and data equipment, from power surges, lost neutrals, and lightning strike and all that kind of thing, because this handles surge protection. Obviously, everything else in the entire house will be fucked, but I suppose at least I've got something to get on with. So yeah, nice. If you're not impressed, fuck off.